My friends, what's going on? Salamat, I was going to say Salamat Tinggal, but I'm not saying goodbye, I'm saying hello. So, Salamat Pagi, Siang, Sore, Malam. Top 10 places to visit in Indonesia. I did the video on top 10 foods to try. You seem to enjoy that video. I enjoyed learning more about Indonesia because I really do believe one day I'm going to make it there. But it is about $2,000, $3,000 just for the plane ticket. Now, however, I did accomplish something today. Thank you for asking. I bought a car. My car got destroyed in a wreck, and it's been 2 months, and today I bought a car. A very economically reasonable sound, functional car, a 2010 Camry, and so far, I'm happy with it. I think the Japanese do a pretty good job of making good cars. That's my opinion. I don't buy American cars. Sorry, I don't. That's how it is. Let's go. Ayo pergi. Do you say it that way? Let's go.
Welcome back, folks, to a brand new video. 17,000 islands, Indonesia is a cultural phenomenon like no other. The isles and the oceans that make up this country contain 8 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. So I'm breaking it down to just a few. So here are 10 beautiful places to visit in Indonesia. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, before you even watch this video, don't forget to hit that like button, obviously for the YouTube algorithm.
Hit that like and subscribe.
Number 1, Raja Ampat Islands. The Raja Ampat Islands are an Indonesian archipelago off the northwest tip of Bird's Head Peninsula in West Papua. With one of the liveliest underwater scenes on the planet.
Is that Papua? Like P-A-P-U-A, Papua?
This world-famous tropical paradise is home to over 500 species of coral, over 700 species of mollusk, and over 1,000 types of fish.
Looks beautiful. Is this footage real? You gotta let me know. Is this really Indonesia, or did this guy just steal beautiful footage from somewhere? You know, it happens. It happens.
Now, despite the magnetism of exotic species and a breathtaking island view, Raja Ampat remains largely pristine because of its remote location and vast locality. So this is more than just a diver's paradise.
I'm gonna speed him up by like 25%. He's talking very slow. Instead of saying, Indonesia is awesome, he goes, Indonesia is awesome. So I'm gonna speed him up a little bit. Let's see if it works.
Number 2, Komodo National Park.
Y'all got Komodos? The dragons?
A mighty and otherworldly lizard, the Komodo is arguably one of the most fascinating creatures on planet Earth.
Is he, their saliva's like poisonous, or it makes you get an infection or something?
One you can only encounter in the wild in Indonesia's national park. Captivating as it is, Komodo is hardly the only thing in this vast array of exotic islands that constitute the Komodo National Park. With incredible diving, just like Ampat Islands, pink beaches, and even forests, it's one of the favorite destinations in all of Indonesia.
That's beautiful. Is that a sky bridge? A sky bridge through the forest?
Number 3, Yogyakarta. Yogyakarta is the capital city of the Yogyakarta Special Region in Java. Located between Mount Merapi and the Indian Ocean, you'll find unmatched beauty intertwined with ancient temples and ruins.
That's wild.
ruins. It's Borobudur Temple, which is clearly the crucial destination to visit when in Yogyakarta. Being the largest Buddhist temple in the world, visitors will be delighted with an amazing view from the top of this 800 AD temple.
Wow.
To beat the crowds and the heat, visit the temple at sunrise. Number 4. Flores Island. Sitting further east of Bali and Lombok.
I got another question for you guys. America's very, very big. You know, a lot of times when people come here from somewhere else, they're kind of shocked at how large America is, say, compared to European countries. So most of the places in America I've never been to. And in fact, I have never been to the west coast of America. I've been up and down the east coast, but I've never been to the west coast. So Indonesia is huge with so many islands. Do Indonesian people actually get a chance to go and visit all these places, or is it just too big?
Flores Island remains remarkably insulated from mass tourism for the moment, offering beautiful places to explore with a fraction of the crowds that head to Indonesia's other holiday destinations. Flores is home to diverse marine life, crystal clear waters, pristine beaches, and volcanic mountains and untouched waterfalls. Not to mention, it offers easy access to Komodo National Park, another UNESCO World Heritage Site.
What?
Keep an eye out for those manta rays and sea turtles, and learning about the real-life hobbits who apparently lived on the island hundreds of years ago. Number 5. Gili Islands. The Gili Islands are an archipelago of 3 small islands and are a popular destination for tourists. Gili Islands is the largest and most popular of the 3, thanks to its well-established infrastructure that preceded the other 2 islands on the group. You can see most development is concentrated around the shoreline, so it can get noisy and overcrowded.
Although in most countries, most development is near the shoreline. In fact, it's very rare for development to be not concentrated around the coast. There's a country in Africa that's that way, but typically, if you look at Australia, United States, Europe, heavy concentration of development and population around the coastline because there's more going on. There's an import-export. You have access to the water, to seafood and stuff. So that makes sense to me. Not that it has to, but it does.
However, the diving is very good, and there are parts of the island where it's more secluded and peaceful. And this is the island where they have that Insta-famous swing, if that's something that you like.
What swing?
Number 6. Padar Island. Padar Island is the 3rd largest island inside Komodo's National Park. It is the place to go in Indonesia if you're an avid hiker and photographer. Now, there are challenging trails that will take you to the top of the island's tallest peaks for a breathtaking view of the surrounding area. Plus, you can easily incorporate a visit to Padar Island with a boat trip from Labuan Bajo. But please take the time to check all offers, all prices to find the cheapest, whether it's private or a boat tour.
Man, come on. Do you guys like actually take the same things we take? I just assume like as tourists, they say, oh, white guy, he's speaking English. Let's give him the worst. But everybody, when you're local, you know what's going on. Like here, even in my city, very small city, if you're an outsider, even if you're a white English speaker, it's not the same. You gotta be local. You gotta know what's going on locally. Who lives here? What do they do? Where do we go? It's very different. It's always odd being an outsider.
Number 7. Lombok.
Everything y'all have looks like things we use for superhero movies. Like if we're gonna dream up some land that doesn't exist, that's like the most majestic land ever, I feel like it looks like Indonesia and like New Zealand is where Americans shoot things, and then they tell us that it's a mystic land. It's like, man, it's just over there. We just have to go over there.
Lombok is an Indonesian island east of Bali. It's known for its beaches and surfing spots, particularly at Kuta and Bangkok Bangkok. Some say Lombok reminds them of Bali decades ago, before the island became a tourist magnet. Now, Lombok's landscape and beaches are no doubt in par with Bali, and arguably
It's
more
wild.
beautiful because of their pristine state. Among the most glorious sights in Lombok is the volcano Mount Rinjani, and of course, the Pink Beach.
What Pink Beach?
Number 8. Nusa Islands. Often referred to as the Maldives of Bali, this string of 3 islands off the coast of Bali is an up-and-coming tropical paradise with natural attractions that many would argue outshine the famous mainland. Nusa Penida, Nusa Lembongan, and Nusa Cendegan each have their own speciality, but all 3 offer a splendid underwater scene, with a thriving wildlife, translucent water, and a calm surface. It's another area perfect for diving, snorkeling, or even water sports. If you don't want to spend a night on the islands, there are day trips that you can book straight from Bali.
What, dude? What is that trail?
Number 9. Mount Bromo. Located some 4 hours drive from Surabaya, the capital of East Java, Mount Bromo is part of the Bromo National Park that covers a massive area of 800 square kilometers. While it may be small when measured against other volcanoes in Indonesia, the magnificent Mount Bromo will never disappoint, especially with its spectacular views and dramatic landscapes. Now, visitors from around the world come to see one of the biggest highlights, the sunrise, and from this spot you'll be able to see some magnificent vistas. And if you're wondering if it's safe, yes, it is an active volcano, so you're probably thinking, what if it erupts? But the national park monitors the activity, so if it is too high, then you won't even be allowed to visit.
Number 10. Ubud. Considered Bali's art and culture capital, Ubud charms tourists beyond its elegant art galleries and lively traditional performances. Ubud is also one of the most beautiful neighborhoods in the popular island destination. The famed rice terrace, for example, is a must-visit spot while in Bali. Ubud's lush tropical jungles, calming rivers, and other natural features have also provided many wellness establishments with a serene atmosphere. The rice terrace, ladies and gentlemen, is why you would come here.
To subscribe
Dude.
if you do like the video, and there's
Harvesting rice is no joke. I've never worked on a rice field. I've done a tiny bit of agriculture, a little bit. And here in the South, we do a lot of outdoor stuff, especially growing up, on the coast, shrimping, crabbing, fishing, and of course, like doing some construction stuff, super, super hot. But when I looked at how people actually harvest and grow rice, I only looked at it in China. I was not in China, I was just watching videos, and it's very difficult, very taxing type of way to grow food, but a lot of food per square, I don't know how you want to measure it, square hectare, square kilometer, but generates a massive amount of food per area, but very hard work. And I'm curious, is the rice cultivation in Indonesia, is it done the same way you would do it in China or Vietnam or Laos or wherever you're growing rice? I'm curious about that. I always, when I think about large populations and, definitely people on islands, I think of like, how do you feed and house those people? So obviously housing, you can just build the housing, you just, cut down some trees and build some lodging. But food is much more difficult, and sustainable food that can feed a thriving and growing population. Very curious about that. I don't know if you would think I care about that, but I do. I think a lot about things like food, and energy. But here in the States, energy's pretty stable, at least where I am. Yeah, in Texas and in California, you do have some issues with the power grid and rolling blackouts and stuff like that. And in places I've visited overseas, there's some issues with rolling blackouts and power shortages. But energy is fairly stable here. Food is extremely stable here. So I'm always curious about how one goes about maintaining an infrastructure and the logistics that go into doing that. Sorry, I got my nerd hat on and not my music hat, but I think, the music of a people just kind of reflects the life they live. So the more you learn about their life, the more the music has a chance to resonate with your soul. That being said, Salamat Tinggal, I'm out. Bye-bye.